Hello, Primary 3. I welcome you once again. This is Teacher Katumba Samuel teaching you mathematics. We are still dealing with fractions, but this time we are going to look at comparing fractions. Comparing what? Fractions. What is to compare? What is to compare? To compare is to give the difference or the similarity. How are they different? How are they similar? You get it? For example, if we have this and this one, if we are to compare, we can give the difference, or still better, we can give the similarity. Now, if you look at the two, you will realize that this one is bigger. This one is what? Bigger. And this one is what? Smaller. So we are comparing. We are giving the difference. We are giving the what? The difference. This one is bigger and this one is smaller. And that's what we call comparison. Now we are comparing these two. These two. Let's try to compare. This one is bigger and this one is smaller. Smaller, this one is bigger. So we are giving the difference. We are comparing. We are comparing. Both are bananas, that is similarity. Both are bananas, that is similarity. But this one is smaller and this one is bigger. So we are giving a comparison. We are comparing. Still we can compare. We can compare this ruler to this one. How can we compare? You look at the difference. This one is shorter, this one is longer. This one is longer, and this one is what? Shorter. So that's the difference. That's the what? The difference. So we are comparing. We are doing what? Comparing. This one is rectangular, this one is cylindrical. It is in form of a cylinder, right? This one is in form of a rectangle. So we are comparing. We are doing what? Comparing. We can still compare this tomato to this one. We are comparing these two. This one is smaller and this one is what? Bigger. At the same time, this one is ripe, this one is green. This one is what? Green. So we are trying to give a comparison. We are trying to compare. We are trying to give the difference. The similarity is both are tomatoes. Both are tomatoes. But now this one is smaller and this one is what? Bigger. Right? And still this one is ripe, this one is not ripe. So that's what we call to compare. That's what we call to compare. Likewise here we want to compare fractions. We want to compare fractions. So this has been divided into two. One, and this is another one. Two. So it has been divided into two. And now we are taking this one. This one is written as 1 out of 2. And now we have this one. It has been divided into 3. We are having 1, 2, 3. So this one is a third, or 1/3. This is 1/2 or a half. This is 1/5, right? And now we are having this one. This one has been divided into 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we are having 1 part out of the 4 parts. 1 part has been shaded out of the 4 parts. So this one is 1/4. 1/4. Now we want to give a comparison. A half, a third, and a quarter. Which one is the biggest? Which one is bigger, a half and a third? Which one is bigger, a third and a quarter? Which one is bigger, a half and a quarter? Which one is bigger, a quarter and a third? Let's first remove the shaded parts. That is the part which has been shaded. And out here we are having if this is our circle. We are removing this one. And this is the part which has been shaded, which we call a third or 1/3. 1/3. Now we are having this. If that is our circle. That's the part which has been shaded. And now we are having that part, which we may call 1/4. 1/4. So now we are comparing this part, that part, and that part. Which one is bigger? This one has been divided in the middle into 2 parts. So this, if you look at these parts and you compare, you will realize that this one is the biggest of all these parts. Therefore, if you are to compare a half and a quarter, which one is bigger? A half and a quarter, which one is bigger? You will realize that a half is bigger. A half is bigger. A half is bigger than a quarter. Now we are giving a comparison of the two. We are comparing the two, a half and a quarter. So a half is bigger than a quarter. And a quarter is smaller. A quarter is smaller. A quarter is smaller than a half. So a quarter is smaller than a half. This one is smaller than this one. And this one is bigger than the other. If we are to compare, a quarter and a third. Which one is bigger? Which one is bigger? A third is bigger. these words, smaller, bigger. These two words are used in comparison when we are comparing, when we are making the difference. These two words are commonly used. Bigger, smaller. Now, if we are to compare a half and a third, a half and a third, you realize that a half is bigger than a third. So a half is bigger. A half is bigger than a third. And therefore, a third is smaller than a half. A third is smaller than a half. So that's how we can compare fractions. That's how we can give a comparison of fractions. When we are comparing, these two words are very important. We can use bigger, we can use smaller. So if you look at these fractions, you will realize that this fraction is the smallest. If we are compared the three, this one is the smallest, and this one is the biggest, right? But if you are comparing two, a half is bigger than a quarter. This one is bigger than the other. And therefore, a quarter is smaller than a half. A quarter is smaller than a half. Still, we can look at those three. If you look at them, you will realize that a third is bigger than a quarter. A third is bigger than a quarter. And therefore, a quarter is smaller than a third. A quarter is smaller than a third. Still, if you continue observing, you will realize that a half is bigger than a third. A half is bigger than this one. And therefore, this one is smaller than the other. A third is smaller than a half. So that is how we can compare fractions. That's how we can compare fractions. So you can keep on having so many fractions. You can compare so many fractions. There are so many. You can compare just to gain perfection. Just to gain what? Perfection. So that has been our lesson. You can wait an activity. You can wait for an activity. Thank you.